welcome to First Kids Storytime. We're going to have a lot of fun as we read some books together. At the end of each book, we'll have some questions or activities you can do with your family too. Hey, we are socially distant, but we can be spiritually connected in Jesus. Today's book is The Lion Tells His Side of the Story. Or, hey God, I'm starving in this den, so why won't you let me eat this guy named Daniel?
Look, I'm a lion, the king of the beast. And what do lions like to do? Eat! And when a lion can't eat, he gets cranky. Grrr, grrr. Hear that sound? Oh, it's a growl, all right. But it's not from my mouth. It's from my stomach. And that's what happened when I got thrown into this den. And God told me I couldn't eat this guy named Daniel. Let me tell you my side of the story. So I woke up this one morning to my alarm clock. Grrr, grrr, grrr. My stomach goes off every morning telling me to eat. So what do? I go get something to eat. Don't you? I walked to the grocery store. Well, the whole forest is my grocery store, to grab something to eat. How about a deer? Nah, too much work. Maybe a sheep? Maybe not. I still have a knot on my head from the last shepherd encounter. A wild pig. I love bacon for breakfast. So I followed this oink, oink to get my delicious all-I-can-eat breakfast. And that's a lot. But instead of finding food, some guys found me. Boy, did that ruin my day. These guys tossed me into a hole in the ground, a den they called it, trying to make it sound all comfortable and nice. It wasn't. It was a hole in the ground, and it didn't come stocked with any food. There was I, king of the beast, stuck in a hole and starving to death. This is no way to treat a king. I looked around and saw some familiar faces in the darkness. All the other kings of the beast. What a sorry bunch. King Larry, King Lonnie, King Lester, King Louie, King Louis, King Linus. So many kings, and all of them had the same story. We got captured and thrown into this den, said King Leon. They haven't fed us for days. All night I tried to sleep, but I couldn't. Grr, girl, grr, grr, grr. I thought my stomach was loud, but add 7 other stomachs to that growling, and you'd be up all night. We hadn't eaten in days. If we didn't eat soon, one of us was gonna be dinner. Finally, one day, the hole opened, and the men threw us our main course. A nice, tasty, delicious human. I like humans personally. They're tender and salty with a bit of crunch on the inside. See if your God saves you now, Daniel, the men shouted as they tossed the guy in. All of us were ready to eat, and dinner was being served. But why wasn't this guy scared? I'd be scared. 8 lions against 1 guy. Not very good odds. But Daniel just bowed his head and prayed. All of us looked at each other, wondering, what's going on? Where's the screaming and crying and begging for your life that we lions usually hear? Then something happened that I never, ever expected. I couldn't open my mouth. Something had locked it up. I tried to take a bite out of Daniel, but my jaws wouldn't work. And the same thing happened to all my friends. All of them were trying to get their mouths open. There we were, 8 hungry lions, and our mouths sealed shut. Could this day get any worse? Now we, king of the beast, know that there's a God. But sometimes we forget to pray to him because, well, we're kings. But at this point, I didn't feel much like a king. So I did what Daniel did. I prayed, hey God, I'm starving in this den. So why won't you let me eat this guy named Daniel? Because he's a very important man who doesn't forget to pray to me, even though he's very important, God replied. You see, God told me, even though he's one of the highest ranking people in his kingdom, he remembered me and prayed to me. He didn't worry about his needs, but mine. And I wasn't about to let you eat him, so I had an angel shut your mouths. Wow. I realized then that I was nothing like Daniel. I felt like a king, but I took what I wanted. I had never met anyone as powerful as Daniel who turned to God. I think people call it humility. I've heard that word before, but never had much use for it. It described Daniel, though how he respected God first, no matter how important he was, and God took care of him. The next morning, another important king yelled down, Daniel, are you okay? Did the lions eat you? No, Daniel replied. God took care of me. I'm okay. As Daniel left our den, I thought about his courage and trust in God. It was something I needed to remember when I fall into traps and pits, and especially when I'm hungry. I needed to trust God to take care of me and feed me too. Soon our jaws were working again, and it wasn't long before another meal was sent down to us. I hope they brought some peanut butter and jelly sandwiches stuffed with bacon.
Wasn't that a neat book? You know, you can read the whole story of Daniel in the lion's den in the Bible, in the book of Daniel, chapter 6. You'll see how Daniel had humility, and it brought him honor, even in the face of evil men who wanted to tear him down.